It's a new season, it's a new pass, let's figure out where all these skins came from. First off, we'll go semi-rapid. These skins are largely either simple recolors or expanding lore that is original to the Rivals game, and we'll talk about them a little bit when we get the chance. The headliner, Space Corsair Venom. This looks like the skins are getting their own lore with the Marauders and Space Corsairs, so that's really cool. We'll go over that, but for now, moving on. Luminous Legend Star-Lord. The lore is, it's a recolor. That's about it. King of Clubs Moon Knight, we've already briefly touched upon in the previous season with the Grandmaster and the Collector having a little game of champions. This is Moon Knight's version of that skin from the Collector. And oh my god, I'm loving this. Galactic Gladiator Mantis. I say this because technically this is a Grootfall inspired skin. We technically have several Grootfall inspired skins already with Grootfall Groot or Western Root, whatever you want to call it. The space Western guy version of Star-Lord, which I'm so mad it's behind the pass I can't get anymore. But that said, I am a little sad that Mantis got rolled into a Rivals original, but I'm more than okay with that because I love this design. I was really hoping for the saloon outfit, but this one's just as awesome. All right, let's get into it with Winter Soldier Wolverine. We technically now have two Winter Soldiers in Rivals. The first appearance, Ultimate Universe 1 year in #1. In this version of the skin, the makers remade his dead universe and deals with heroes that could or did stop him last time, Wolverine being one of them. In this version, Wolverine's brainwashed by 616's magic and Colossus and becomes the Eurasian Republic's boogeyman assassin, the Winter Soldier. Personally, I love this design of Ultimate Wolverine. The comic, I can kind of I can give up. It's a solid 6, 7 out of 10. It has some high points and really strong character designs that'll carry it, but the constant shock value and predictable writing to me is okay. If you were not a fan of the brutality of the later half of the old Wolf universe, you will not be a fan of this, but the skin itself is awesome. Next is Vampire Slayer Blade. First appearance in Tomb of Dracula #10, 1973. Fun fact, Blade is British. Wesley Snipes just played the essence of Blade perfectly. Now, I don't want to go too far into this until his little lore drop, but it's been said that superstar Jim Brown was an inspiration for the character. There's also not much else to it, really. It's simple, and he's as 70s can be, afro and everything. Thankfully, we got rid of a little bit of the stereotypical jive talking. This Blade's default look did fall into obscurity until his resurrection in 1992 with Ghost Rider 28. Now we have Winter Soldier's Bucky skin. First appearance, Captain America #1 in 1940. Who loves child soldiers? Because now you can play as one. Technically speaking, Penny's no longer the youngest on the roster when you rock this getup. So Bucky joins the US military in his early teens and accidentally finds out that Captain America is Steve Rogers. Cap then takes him under his wing and they train together, but unfortunately, Bucky in this uniform does meet his fate, seemingly being killed in an airplane explosion, and is lost to comics history until his revival as the Winter Soldier. Continuing on with the King of Wakanda for Black Panther. First appearance of this skin is Black Panther #1 in 2005. I remember this comic run being what I would consider the revival of Black Panther in the pop culture. It's part of Marvel Knights imprint, which then also merges a little into the main line. It gets a little confusing with Marvel Knights sometimes, but Marvel Knights allowed writers and artists to really explore different aspects of the character that didn't always need to adhere to the main titles. And hey, if you get a chance, it's kind of hard to find now, but it's on YouTube, thankfully. You need to absolutely watch the BET miniseries made from this in 2010. This adaptation has Jimon Hunson playing T'Challa. I love Chadwick Boseman like everybody else, but man, could you have imagined a prime Jimon Hunson playing Black Panther? It's actually pretty cool. Go watch the series. It's on YouTube. Go find it. Also, we have the Queen of Wakanda skin for Storm. First appearance in Black Panther #18 in 2006. Aurora and T'Challa's romance had a decent amount of legwork built up to this moment as the pair gets married, and I am a fan of the adaptation of his wedding dress, but there's also not much more to it. Sadly, the pair is not together after the events of Avengers vs. X-Men, and their current relationship status in comics is complicated. Also really distant. They don't interact anymore for the most part. Finally, we have Prison Parade Invisible Woman. The first appearance of this skin is a variant cover created by Benjamin Su. Look, all comics love variant covers and Marvel's no exception. The Disco Dazzler variant covers are pretty fun, and NetEase is just running wild with it. There's also not much else to this version of Su. It's just a 70s inspired disco version, and sometimes all you just want to see is a cool variant. And if that's the case, I'll take Disco Magic, Disco Wanda, Disco Moon Knight, and Disco Hulk, please. And that's about it for this season's Battle Pass lineup. Not a bad lineup. I'd give it another solid 7 out of 10, a lot more coherent compared to season 5. And it does make a lot of sense. They're having a lot of fun with it. The disco theme seems to be wild this season. Disco and pirates. I guess that's the main theme of it. All right, cool. Let's go.